doing dry ingredients. So this is probably the simplest mug cake you have ever made. You can add a little lemon to the zest to this if you want to get fancy, or you can just leave it with, what was that?
A little razzle dazzle.
Yes, if you want to get fancy, add a little lemon zest to it, or you can just do plain blueberries.
Do they know what zest is?
Zest. Oh, that's a good question. You guys know what lemon zest is? Okay. Anyone not know what lemon zest is? No? Okay, good. Well, just in case, because we are recording this, lemon zest is just you're taking the outside of the lemon, just that lemon peel, and you're going to zest that. We have our handy little zester that we would use, and then you can add that in there. Or you can add a little cap full of lemon juice, same thing. You'll give it a little bit of lemon flavor. Again, you don't have to do that. We're keeping this one as simple as possible, so this is a 7-ingredient cake. Hold on one second, let me pull my recipe up here. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to spray our cup. Even though we're putting this in the microwave, we want it to pop out really easy. So we're going to spray it, just a really light spray. And we're using olive oil because instead of butter in this recipe, we're also using olive oil. So it's a blueberry olive oil cake. Vegan friendly. All right, so potatoes matters. Yeah, if you don't mind. Thanks. Yeah, 4 tablespoons of flour, right?
All-purpose flour.
All right. And we're going to actually mix this right in the mug. So this is literally one of those one vessel meals. And you can kind of change this up a little. Instead of blueberries, you could put walnuts and chocolate chips. You could put strawberries. You could put peaches. So you can really use this base for any kind of cake you want. You can use it as a muffin for breakfast, or you could use it as a quick dessert for later in the evening.
3 tablespoons of sugar.
3
And
tablespoons.
again, you could use the frozen blueberries.
Yes.
We have fresh ones here, the frozen one. You could, if you got canned peaches, rinse those peaches off, and you could put the peaches in 3 tablespoons of sugar.
So 4 tablespoons of flour, 3 tablespoons of sugar. We're going to put a little more sugar on top later.
Pinch of baking powder.
Now, this is going to be like your grandmother's here, right? We're just going to put a pinch. So when someone says a pinch, does anyone know what that actually is, what the real measurement would be? So the real measurement, someone actually sat down and said, what does that mean? Would be approximately 1/8 of a teaspoon. So every time you see a pinch, think, okay, I'm going to use 1/8 of a teaspoon. Lots of my grandmother's recipes say a dash and a pinch. I know, I love the dash. A dash, I think, again, was about 1/8 of a teaspoon.
I know, right?
I love it. Every time I asked for my grandmother's recipes, I would get measurements that said about or until the consistency's right. That one's always my favorite. Until the consistency's right.
Tablespoons of milk.
You was talking about your grandparents. You guys should really get their recipes. That's a family cultural thing. You should pass it down. Because if you're not going to pass it down, who's going to do it?
3
So you
tablespoons.
definitely should get those recipes, okay?
The other thing that's really cool, if you get them to write it for you, if they're still around, because then you have their handwriting.
Yes,
Yeah.
that is
Yeah.
what I did.
Take
and
it
I
from
really
somebody
treasure
that treasures that, yeah.
All right, so we're putting 3 tablespoons of almond milk in here. We put our 1/8 of a teaspoon of baking powder.
1/2 tablespoon of olive oil.
Half a tablespoon?
Yeah, 1/2 tablespoon.
All right, 1/2 tablespoon of olive oil. This is one of those, we talked about this last time, so I'm just going to repeat this one again. It doesn't have to be extra virgin olive oil. This is fine. This is just a regular olive oil. When I'm getting fancy, I make sure I get the other one, but you really don't have to.
1/4 teaspoon of vanilla extract. Yeah, and olive oil, there was a drought in Spain, so it's very expensive right now, so it's fine to use the other.
That's right. They had a really bad drought. This
Yeah,
summer,
it's 1/4 teaspoon.
That's fine.
No.
Okay, so here's a little baking tip for you. Baking is really very much a chemistry thing. But when you are converting recipes, everything else, most everything else, you can convert 1-to-1. So, meaning if I'm going from 1 mug cake, but I want to make 4, I can just times everything by 4, right? You do not do that with extracts. You're usually never going to go more than about a tablespoon or 2 tablespoons. So if you suddenly are doing a large cake, it might tell you that you need 1/4 of a cup of vanilla extract. Don't do that. It's going to taste like alcohol.
10
Which-
blueberries.
Which
10
may not be
blueberries.
bad for
All right, we're going to mix this up. All right, so now we're going to mix this up in here with our tiny little whisk. I don't know if you guys can see what that looks like, but so it's going to look like just regular cake batter.
Should hold it up to the
Don't worry if there's a little powder on the side, that's fine. It's going to puff up. And then we're going to add, our recipe says 10 blueberries, but let me tell you, these recipes, these blueberries right now are in New Jersey out of season, and they will be out of season until about end of May, June next year. So everything you're getting are blueberries from other countries, and some of these blueberries are absolutely huge. So if you have blueberries that look like that, these fresh blueberries, don't put 10. Or you can put 10. Listen, if you like blueberries, we're gonna put that in the garlic category and say measure that with your heart. If you love blueberries, put a few extra blueberries. If you're trying to ration your blueberries, don't put that many. I'm not counting. But we're gonna
Another
put a
thing with
couple
the
of
blueberries
extras.
as far as freshness, if you have fresh blueberries, any type of berry that's fresh, Kendra, wash those beforehand. You always want to
Yes.
wash your produce, right? Even the
if
stuff
they're
you're
in
cutting
these.
into, you should wash, because think about it, if you're cutting into it, then that whatever's on the outside is going to go into the inside. So you want to wash the outside of fruits and vegetables. But with those, specifically berries, if you wash them ahead of time, they're going to go bad faster. So if you only need 10 blueberries and you're trying to extend your grocery list a little longer, wash those 10 instead of the whole container.
That's a good one.
All right, so we're gonna have our blueberries on top, and then we're gonna put a little sprinkle of sugar on the top of it.
Here we took
This
your
is
sugar
gonna be
away.
see, a sprinkle. What is a sprinkle? It's a pinch.
Sprinkle, pinch, dash.
But we are literally gonna get a little pinch out of here, and we're gonna sprinkle it on top, and then we're gonna put it in the microwave.